What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TNC Reacts. Today is Tuesday Thoughts, and I want to talk about the prison system. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is very simple, is because what I notice is that a lot of people do not understand the context of what happens when you go to jail and when you get out. Now, what I'm talking about is the getting out aspect, aka probation, or if you just finish your time. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that when you get probation, people think, okay, I get some form of freedom. You don't. You're actually under supervision. And you have to check in with somebody. You have to do P tests whenever they want you to, aka drug tests. You have to adhere to certain regulations that they require of you, even though you're on the outside. So, and let's not forget, depending on what your probation is, you have to pay a fee. Every month, you have to pay a fee. And what they don't tell you is when you get close to the end of your probation, if you don't pay whatever that remaining balance is, now you could pay whatever they're saying is due per month, but then they do a lump sum at the end. If you do not pay that amount, you can go back to prison. Not making this up. This is not a joke. This is a real thing. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. And you have to ask yourself, is this what I want for my life? If you're a person that just want to wild out, or you're a person that needs rules and parameters, join the military. Get paid for it and get some structure and get some common sense built into you. But don't use prison as a means for that. All right? Because a lot of times when you notice, they say this. Now, how true it is, I'm not sure, but from what I've seen on statistics, they state that majority of the people in prison do not have a third grade reading level, which means that they don't have the abilities to comprehend certain levels of communication. Hence the reason why they may lash out violently, or they think that stealing is the way, or they can't think far ahead enough to where they will not commit said crime in order to keep their freedom. But ask yourself this: if you have a choice between freedom and prison to then be stuck in a loop potentially for the rest of your days, which one would you take? Because honestly, you don't want to have to ask somebody when you can travel. Yeah, you got to do it with your job, put vacation time in, stuff like that. But imagine having to go through a probation officer saying, hey, I would like to travel with my family on said dates. Can I do this? And they say no. What are you going to do? Go and then risk going back to jail? No, you're not going to do this. So why would you allow yourself to be put in a position to where you have to be told when and where, what and what you cannot do? Because it defeats the purpose of said freedom, right? So like a guy named Wallow, I always like referencing him anytime I do videos talking about prison because he's a very honest guy. His prison term, he's on probation now, I think to like 2045, 2047. Something of that number. But he's out though. He's done a lot of time in his life. But if you ever get the chance, look this guy up. He's a very inspirational guy just because of how he views things and what he talks about. But imagine being 20 years left on your probation. That means if you screw up one time, just one, doesn't matter what it is. If you violate something in that probation, you go to jail for the rest of that time. That's a very thin line to be walking on. Thin ice, whatever. You're just, ooh. No mistakes, no mistakes. You don't want to live your life like that. You know what I mean? You might drink and you pop dirty on the thing. Boom, you're going to jail. Like, no one wants that. No, for nobody. You know, prison is not a place to become disciplined. You know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. You know, am I making sense when I'm speaking about how the prison system works and how it's designed to keep you back? Because these little mistakes can always bring you back, and I think they need bodies. That's why the probation is made the way it is. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments section, and be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody? Peace.